Now, let me expose what they're not telling you, but it is almost obvious to us structural engineers. Because George asked in the comment section, so what was the problem with it? He was referring to my previous video that really went viral. In that video, I was analyzing the Mombasa building that was demolished. If you've not watched it, go back and watch it. So George went ahead and said, why didn't my engineer Mwezi save this one? And even made reference to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, that tower in Italy, it has been leaning like that for centuries, with the tourists taking selfies with it. Yet our Mombasa building had to be demolished. So this really worried George. And he even pointed fingers to us structural engineers. Well, whenever you see a sinking building, your mind should zoom straight into two things above everything else: the ground below and the grid above. It's either they added extra floors, which foundation could not support, or they did not do the due diligence when it comes to soil test and the geotechnical survey of that area. So they were just building blindly. Messing with reinforcement is wrong. But for this particular building, there is more than what meets the eye. In fact, in this side, we tinkered with reinforcement details a little bit after following the due processes. So tinkering with reinforcement detail is something that can be done. But for this particular building, there is more than what meets the eye. In fact, them insisting that the additional 5 floors on top of the originally approved 6 sounds highly suspicious. Do you think those extra floors were added with the blessings of a structural engineer? Let me know in the comment section. By the way, the county architect who approved this building, this particular building, is also a partner in designing architectural firm, the same firm which designed the building. Well, that raises some serious questions about potential conflict of interest. Imagine doing KCC, then you sneak back into naked quarter to mark your own paper. Will you ever fail, even if you wrote your name wrong? I hope the architects didn't double up as the contractor on this particular one, because I've experienced firsthand a case where a client chose an architect to be the contractor for the mansion that he was building. Let me tell you, if it's a bungalow, yes, it is something that can be done, but for a mansionette, you don't want to risk, because this contractor wanted also to do structural drawings. By the way, there is a very big difference between architectural drawing and structural drawing. Architectural drawing, maybe in very simple term, architectural drawing is like the fashion of that house, the clothes that house wears, the appearance of the house. But structural drawings, that's a completely different thing. Structural drawings is literally raw mathematics and physics coded into the steelwork. Hiyo sio chuma tu, hiyo sasa ndio mahesabu zote huwa tunaweka huko. You get that wrong, that beauty becomes a coffin. Because you can fake beauty, but you can't fake strength. Back to our Mombasa building, they tried to put blame on the pre-existing borehole. That argument alone doesn't really hold water. Massive structure like Burj Al Arab essentially stand on sand in the ocean. Hong Kong Airport, for example, essentially is built on a swampland. A mere borehole is nothing if actually they did the engineering homework well. It shouldn't be an insurmountable problem if a proper geotechnical survey and engineering solution are in place. A geotechnical survey to ascertain soil bearing capacity might not have been done for this particular project. And this brings us to our question. Do you honestly find their explanation on geotechnical shift to be reasonable enough? Because they were also claiming that it could have been a case of geotechnical shift. Or is it just pure corruption wrapped in technical excuses? Anyway, if we go back to George's point, he wanted to understand why is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, still standing up to date, yet this one had to be demolished. And also, tell me if you think their preliminary explanation on geotechnical shift and borehole are the real culprits here. Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to follow me, because if you don't follow me, then it means you'll not get content like this.